Sir, economy boarding is over there. Flight attendant Jessica blocks a black man in an expensive suit from the first-class line. He shows his first-class ticket. She examines it suspiciously. This must be stolen. Let me call security. Within minutes, he's surrounded by airport security, humiliated in front of recording passengers. The man stays eerily calm as they search his briefcase. In 30 years of flying, I can spot troublemakers, Captain Reynolds announces loudly. This passenger should try a different airline. The crowd grows, phones record, a live stream reaches thousands of viewers. The man checks his expensive watch and makes one quiet phone call. 12 minutes later, every flight is grounded. The pilot is fired. The entire airport learns who they just humiliated. Have you ever been judged by your appearance in the first 10 seconds? These real-life stories show why black stories still need to be heard. Manager Sarah arrives, her heels clicking against the terminal floor. She reviews the ticket with theatrical suspicion, turning it over twice, holding it up to the light. This is highly irregular, Sarah announces, loudly enough for nearby passengers to hear. We need to verify this ticket's authenticity. Jessica crosses her arms, speaking louder now. I've never seen him before. He just appeared at first class like he belonged there. The man remains calm. I understand your concern. Please take all the time you need. 20 feet away, college student Emma Martinez starts her Instagram live. Y'all seeing this discrimination right now at LaGuardia? This is disgusting. Her phone screen shows 847 viewers and climbing. The PA system crackles. Flight 892 to Miami now boarding first-class passengers. Departure in 47 minutes. Sarah examines the man's credit card, running it through her portable scanner twice. The transaction approves both times. She frowns, disappointed. Sir, we're going to need additional verification, she declares. This could be a stolen car. The crowd grows. Economy passengers crane their necks. A businessman in a Yankees cap whispers to his wife. Probably bought it on the black market. Emma's live stream hits 3,200 viewers. Comments flood the screen. Call the news. This is 2025, not 1955. Sue them. The man checks his expensive Patek Philippe watch. His phone buzzes with messages from board secretary and legal counsel. He silences it without reading. I understand you're being thorough, he says quietly. Take your time. Sarah calls airport security. We have a suspicious passenger at gate 47B. Possible fraudulent ticket situation. 2 uniformed officers approach. The first, Officer Martinez, speaks in a commanding tone. Sir, we need to see identification and verify your ticket purchase. The man produces his driver's license and credit card without protest. Officer Martinez examines both documents while his partner, Officer Chen, stands ready. Emma's live stream commentary continues. Security is here now. This man is being treated like a criminal for trying to board his own flight. This is racial profiling, plain and simple. Her viewer count reaches 8,900. The officers scan the man's ID. Everything checks out perfectly. Officer Martinez looks puzzled but doesn't back down. We're going to need to search your belongings, sir, Officer Chen announces. Of course. I have nothing to hide. The man opens his briefcase calmly. Inside are airline annual reports, a leather portfolio, and an iPad. Officer Martinez flips through the documents without understanding their significance. A gate agent makes a PA announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, we're experiencing a brief delay for Flight 892 due to a security concern. We appreciate your patience. The announcement draws more passengers to the scene. A retired teacher, Mrs. Wilson, shakes her head in disgust. Shameful, she mutters, but not loud enough for staff to hear. Sarah's radio crackles with an update from the boarding gate. We're holding the flight. Can you expedite whatever's happening out there? Still working on it, Sarah responds importantly, enjoying her moment of authority. The man's phone rings. The caller ID shows Executive Assistant. He declines the call politely, then makes a quiet call of his own. It's Marcus, he says in a low voice. Yes, I'm ready to proceed. Emma's live stream reaches 15,000 viewers. The comment section explodes with outrage, sympathy, and advice. Someone shares it to Twitter. Another viewer starts a Facebook Live reaction video. Flight 8892. Racism begins trending locally. Captain Reynolds emerges from the jet bridge, his gold-braided uniform catching the fluorescent lights. He surveys the commotion with visible annoyance. "What's the holdup here?" Captain Reynolds demands. "We've got a schedule to keep, and my crew's been ready for 20 minutes. He glances at the man dismissively. "Sir, if you can't follow simple boarding procedures, perhaps you should consider a different airline." The captain's words are captured perfectly on Emma's live stream. Her viewers respond immediately. Did he just say that? Fire this pilot. Lawsuit incoming. Sarah explains the situation to Captain Reynolds in whispers, gesturing toward the man. The captain nods knowingly. "I see," Captain Reynolds says loudly. "Well, we can't have just anyone claiming first-class seats. You're doing the right thing, Sarah." The man checks his watch again. 12 minutes to scheduled departure, he observes quietly. Emma's live stream has reached 31,000 viewers. Local news outlets start monitoring the hashtag. A reporter from News 4 New York begins driving to LaGuardia. The man opens his second phone, different from his personal device. He types rapidly into an airline operations app. The screen is visible to nearby passengers, but the small text is unreadable on Emma's phone camera. "Sir," Officer Martinez says, "we're going to need you to step aside for additional screening." Other first-class passengers board around the scene, shooting glances and whispered comments. A businessman records discreetly with his smartwatch. A woman in Louboutin heels live streams to her TikTok followers. The humiliation reaches its peak as airport security forms a small circle around the man. Emma's commentary becomes more passionate. "This is absolutely disgusting. This man is being humiliated for flying first class while black. In 2025, at a major airport. This is America, y'all." The man remains eerily calm throughout the ordeal. He answers every question politely, complies with every request, and maintains perfect composure. His phone screen shows the time, 2:47 p.m. Departure was scheduled for 3:00 p.m. 13 minutes, he says to himself, so quietly that only the nearest officer hears it. Airport Security Chief Williams arrives, summoned by his radio. He's a 20-year veteran who takes pride in running tight operations. His appearance escalates the situation from embarrassing to potentially dangerous. "What do we have here?" Chief Williams asks, surveying the scene like a crime investigator. Sarah briefs him quickly. Suspicious passenger, questionable ticket, possible fraud. Emma's live stream now shows 78,000 viewers. Her commentary has attracted the attention of activist accounts with millions of followers. The retweets are multiplying exponentially. Chief Williams addresses the man directly. "Sir, I'm going to need you to come with me for additional questioning." "Am I under arrest?" the man asks calmly. "Not at this time, but we need to resolve this situation before allowing you to board." The gate agent makes another PA announcement. "Final boarding call for Flight 892 to Miami. All remaining passengers please board immediately. Departure in 18 minutes. The announcement creates urgency among the waiting passengers. Business travelers check their watches anxiously. A mother with 2 small children looks stressed about making a connecting flight. Emma's live stream commentary intensifies. They're treating this man like a terrorist. For what? Having a first-class ticket while black? This is unbelievable. The man's personal phone buzzes again. This time he answers. "Yes, I see the coverage." "No, don't intervene yet. I need to see how far this goes." Captain Reynolds checks his flight manifest on his tablet. He frowns, then approaches Chief Williams privately. "Is this going to delay us much longer? We've got a narrow weather window, and Miami's threatening to close due to storms." "We'll have it sorted shortly," Chief Williams assures him. The captain glances at the man again. "You know, in 30 years of flying, I've learned to spot troublemakers. This passenger's been nothing but difficult since he arrived. Emma's followers notice the captain's comment. The live stream chat explodes. He's lying. The passenger has been polite this whole time. Fire this pilot now. Captain Reynolds starts trending alongside Flight 8892, racism. A second flight attendant, David, emerges from the jet bridge. Captain, the passengers are getting restless. Should I make an announcement about the delay? Tell them we're resolving a security issue, Captain Reynolds instructs. And remind them that passenger safety is our top priority. The man opens his airline operations app again. This time, Emma's camera catches a glimpse of the screen. Her viewers start speculating in the comments. What's that app? Looks like airline software. Is he an employee? Chief Williams decides to escalate further. I'm calling TSA. They have broader authority for passenger screening. The man speaks for the first time in several minutes. That won't be necessary. I'll decide what's necessary, sir. Emma's live stream reaches 156,000 viewers. Major news outlets are now monitoring the situation. CNN's travel correspondent tweets about the developing story. The man checks his expensive watch again. He makes another brief phone call. Initiate Protocol 7. Yes, now. Officer Martinez overhears and asks, What protocol? Who are you calling? My attorney, the man replies simply. This answer satisfies no one. Sarah rolls her eyes. Captain Reynolds shakes his head in frustration. Chief Williams calls for backup officers. Emma's live stream chat is moving too fast to read. Donations start flowing in with messages of support. $50, 0 cents from @JusticeWarrior. Sue them all. $25, 0 cents from @MomOf3. This makes me sick. A third security officer arrives. Then a fourth. The man is now surrounded by 6 airport employees and officers, all focused on his supposed crime of flying first class. Mrs. Wilson, the retired teacher watching from nearby, finally speaks up. This is shameful. That man has done nothing wrong. Sarah turns on her quickly. Ma'am, please, stay out of security matters. I'm staying right here, Mrs. Wilson replies firmly. Someone needs to witness this. Her comment is captured on Emma's live stream. The viewers react immediately. Thank you, Mrs. Wilson. Not all heroes wear capes. Stand up for what's right. The man's second phone screen changes. Emma's camera catches it briefly. Flight. Preparing ground. Hold. Captain Reynolds receives a radio call from air traffic control. Meridian 892. What's your status? You're showing delayed on our board. ATC, we're resolving a passenger issue. Request 5 more minutes. Meridian 892, you're burning your slot. Miami's threatening closure due to weather. The pressure mounts. Other passengers become increasingly agitated. A businessman in the boarding area complains loudly. I've got a meeting tonight. This is ridiculous. Chief Williams makes his decision. Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to come with us to the security office for formal questioning. Emma's followers react with alarm. Don't let them take you. Call a lawyer. This is kidnapping. The man stands slowly, gathering his belongings. I understand your position, Chief Williams, but I need to tell you something first. You can tell us in the office. I think you'll want to hear this here. Captain Reynolds interjects. Whatever this is, can we resolve it quickly? I've got 180 passengers waiting. The man pulls out his second phone again. This time, he holds it so everyone can see the screen clearly. Emma's camera focuses on it perfectly. The app shows Meridian Airways Operations, Executive, Open Active. A red button appears. Ground all flights, Emergency Protocol. The man's finger hovers over the button. You have 30 seconds to decide how this ends, he says quietly. Chief Williams stares at the phone, confused. What is that supposed to mean? Captain Reynolds squints at the screen. Something about the interface looks familiar, but he can't place it. Emma's livestream viewers notice immediately. Is that airline software? He's got access to flight operations. OMG, what's happening? Sarah laughs nervously. Sir, whatever app that is, It's not going to help you here. The man looks directly at Captain Reynolds. Captain, you said you've learned to spot troublemakers in 30 years of flying. What airline have you worked for? Meridian Airways, obviously. Why? All 30 years? 27 years with Meridian, 3 with Eastern before that. The man nods slowly. 27 years. Good career? Shame to see it end over 12 minutes of poor judgment. Captain Reynolds' face changes. Something in the man's tone, his knowledge of airline operations. The official-looking app pieces start connecting. Emma's live stream chat explodes with speculation. He works for the airline. He's management. Plot twist incoming. The man's finger moves closer to the red button on his phone screen. 10 minutes past scheduled departure, he observes. Still time to make this right. The man's finger touches the red button on his phone screen. Emma's live stream captures the moment perfectly as he presses it. Flight neutral. Ground. Hold initiated. Detonation effective. Flashes across the screen. Within seconds, every departure board in the terminal begins updating. Flight after flight changes from on time to delayed to ground hold. Gate agents across the terminal receive radio calls simultaneously. The cacophony of confused voices creates a buzz of panic. Meridian Airways flights are showing ground hold. A voice crackles over Chief Williams' radio. Code executive override. This is not a drill. Sarah stares at the departure board in disbelief. What? That's impossible. Only corporate headquarters can issue system-wide ground holds. The man speaks with quiet authority for the first time. I am corporate headquarters. The words hang in the air like a thunderclap. Emma's live stream chat explodes. What? He's the boss? Holy shit, this is insane. Her viewer count passes 400,000. Captain Reynolds' face drains of color. 27 years of experience tells him exactly what executive override means. Only 3 people in the entire company have that authority. The man reaches into his briefcase and produces a business card. He hands it to Chief Williams with the same calm demeanor he's maintained throughout the ordeal. Marcus Washington, Chief Executive Officer, Meridian Airways. Chief Williams reads the card twice, then looks at the man's driver's license still in his hand. The names match perfectly. Officer Martinez recognizes the name immediately. Sir, I've seen you in company communications. You're actually the CEO of the airline that employs Captain Reynolds, pays for these gate contracts, and generates $847,000 in daily revenue through this terminal alone. Emma's live stream has reached 650,000 viewers. News outlets are scrambling to cover the story. Meridian CEO starts trending nationally. Sarah's hand trembles as she realizes the magnitude of her mistake. Mr. Washington, we didn't know. You didn't know because you didn't ask. You assumed. Captain Reynolds tries to recover. Sir, this is all a misunderstanding. We were just following protocol. Marcus Washington opens his operations app again, this time projecting his screen on the nearby monitor for everyone to see. Flight tracking data, passenger manifests, and financial reports fill the display. Captain Reynolds, according to your employment file, you've been with Meridian for 27 years. Salary, $187,000, 0 cents annually. Pension plan, fully vested. Clean safety record until today. The captain's throat tightens. Sir, I was just doing my job. Your job is to fly planes safely and treat passengers with respect. Which part of that job were you doing when you suggested I try a different airline? Emma's camera captures every word. Her viewers are riveted. This is better than Netflix. CEO revenge, justice served live. Marcus continues his data presentation. Sarah Mitchell, Terminal Manager, LaGuardia Operations. Responsible for passenger services and gate management. Annual performance review due in 6 weeks. Sarah's face goes pale. She realizes her career is hanging by a thread. Jessica Torres, flight attendant, 8 years of service. Customer satisfaction scores, average 4.2 out of 5. Until today. Marcus's phone buzzes with calls from board members, lawyers, and PR executives. He silences each one without answering. Chief Williams attempts to regain control. Mr. Washington, this was a security matter. We were protecting airline interests. You were protecting assumptions. Let me show you what actual security looks like. Marcus opens another app on his phone. Meridian Airways Security Operations. Real-time passenger screening data, including pre-flight background checks. The screen shows Marcus's own profile. Marcus, Washington. D-clearance level 9. D-clearance level 9. Season clear. I'm pre-cleared through TSA, FBI, and FAA databases. I've been flying first class on Meridian Airways for 7 years as CEO. My photo is in every employee handbook and training manual. Officer Martinez checks the security database on his own device. Marcus's face appears immediately with executive priority status. Emma's live stream hits 1 million viewers. Major news networks are now sending crews to LaGuardia. The story is spreading across all social media platforms simultaneously. Captain Reynolds makes a desperate attempt at damage control. Mr. Washington, I've never seen you fly this route before. Because I usually fly private. Today I wanted to experience our customer service firsthand. Consider this an undercover quality assessment. Marcus pulls up more data on the public screen. Current time, 3:17 p.m. Original departure, 3:00 p.m. Delay cost, $12,000. 0 cents per minute in fuel, crew overtime, and passenger compensation. Sarah does quick math in her head. 17 minutes times $12,000. Her stomach drops. But that's not the expensive part, Marcus continues. Emma's live stream currently has 1.2 million viewers. Our PR department estimates each viewer represents $1.30 in negative brand impact. Emma waves at the camera. Hey, PR department, y'all seeing this math? The comments flow faster than humanly readable. CEO dropping knowledge. This is corporate justice. Fire everyone involved. Marcus addresses the crowd directly. You've all participated in a live case study of unconscious bias in customer service. Congratulations. You're now part of Harvard Business School's curriculum. Officer Chen, who had remained silent, finally speaks. Sir, we sincerely apologize for this misunderstanding. Officer Chen, you were professional throughout. No apology needed from you. Marcus's distinction between the officers creates a clear hierarchy of accountability. Some acted on bias, others on duty. The interesting data point, Marcus continues, is that not one person asked for my identification before assuming I didn't belong in first class. You saw a black man and made immediate assumptions about his economic status. Emma's commentary becomes more emotional. This is exactly what we've been saying. This is why these stories matter. This man just turned discrimination into a teaching moment. Marcus checks his watch. 18 minutes past departure. Every minute costs us $12,000 and damages our reputation with millions of viewers. Captain Reynolds' desperation shows. Sir, if we could just board the flight now. Captain Reynolds, you're not boarding anything. You're terminated effective immediately. The words hit like a physical blow. 27 years of career progression ended in one sentence. Sarah gasps audibly. Jessica starts crying. The reality of consequences settles over everyone involved. Security Chief Williams, your department will receive mandatory bias training within 30 days. Officer Martinez and Officer Chen, you'll be part of developing that program. Marcus begins walking toward the jet bridge. I have a flight to catch. Sir? Chief Williams calls out. What about the ground hold? Marcus pauses and checks his operations app. With a few touches, he updates the system. Ground hold lifted. Normal operations resume. Across the terminal, departure boards begin updating back to normal status. The mechanical whir of aircraft engines resumes. LaGuardia returns to its usual controlled chaos. Emma's live stream reaches 1.5 million viewers. She's barely able to speak. Y'all, we just witnessed the most incredible thing I've ever seen. This man just grounded an entire airline to make a point about respect. Marcus boards the plane as the first-class passenger he always was. The flight attendants greet him with recognition and profuse apologies. But Emma's camera can't follow him aboard. The live stream continues from the gate, capturing the aftermath. Sarah on the phone with corporate, Jessica wiping tears, Captain Reynolds cleaning out his flight bag. The viewers demand more. Follow up on this story. What happens next? This can't be the end. Emma promises to investigate further. The story is far from over. Within 90 minutes of Marcus's boarding, the executive conference room adjacent to Gate 47B fills with airport management, Meridian Airways executives, and legal representatives. The room's floor-to-ceiling windows overlook the very gate where the incident occurred. Airport Operations Director Janet Coleman leads the emergency meeting. Her 23 years managing LaGuardia operations never prepared her for this scenario. A CEO live-streaming his own discrimination to over 2 million viewers. Let's establish the facts, she begins, projecting Emma's live-stream footage on the wall-mounted screen. This video has been viewed 3.7 million times across all platforms in the last 2 hours. Meridian Airways General Counsel David Kim presents his preliminary legal analysis. We're facing potential civil rights violations, breach of contract claims, and a public relations catastrophe that could cost us tens of millions in lost revenue. The numbers are staggering. Marcus had returned from Miami and requested this meeting before the story could spiral further. He sits at the head of the conference table, still wearing the same navy suit, his composure unchanged. Current social media metrics, Marcus begins, opening his tablet. Emma's original live stream, 4.1 million views. TikTok reposts, 847 different accounts. Cumulative, 12.6 million views. Twitter thread with video clips, 2.3 million impressions. Sarah Mitchell sits uncomfortably near the back of the room, her employment status uncertain. Former Captain Reynolds is notably absent. His termination was immediate and non-negotiable. Marcus continues his presentation. Meridian Airways stock price, down 4.7% in after-Hughes trading. That represents $340 million, 0 cents in market cap loss. Our brand sentiment analysis shows a 67% negative rating, compared to 12% yesterday. Janet Coleman interjects. Mr. Washington, we've initiated our own investigation. Sarah Mitchell will face disciplinary action, and we're reviewing all staff training protocols. That's reactive, not proactive, Marcus responds. Let me show you the comprehensive solution. He projects a detailed slide presentation. Meridian Airways Anti-Discrimination Initiative, a data-driven approach to systemic change. The first slide shows financial impact. Annual Meridian revenue at LaGuardia, $2.8 billion, 0 cents. Our contract generates 23% of this terminal's total revenue. That's $890 million, 0 cents annually in economic impact. Airport officials shift uncomfortably. The numbers underscore Meridian's leverage in any negotiation. Slide 2. Legal framework. Our Airport Service Agreement, Section 12.4, specifically prohibits discriminatory treatment of passengers. Today's incident constitutes material breach. Legal counsel Kim nods approvingly. The contract language is ironclad. Slide 3. Media Impact Assessment. Current negative publicity value, $15,700,000, 0 cents, based on advertising equivalency rates. Projected 6-month impact if unaddressed, $78 million, 0 cents. Emma's live stream, still running from the terminal, shows her interviewing other passengers about discrimination experiences. Her follower count has grown to 180,000 in 3 hours. But here's the opportunity. Marcus continues to slide 4. Convert this crisis into industry leadership. Become the first major airport to implement comprehensive anti-bias training. He outlines specific proposals. Mandatory unconscious bias training for all customer-facing staff. anonymous discrimination reporting app for passengers, body cameras for security interactions, monthly diversity audits with public reporting. Janet Coleman takes notes rapidly. Mr. Washington, these changes would require significant investment. $2,300,000 annually, Marcus responds immediately. Less than 3 days of revenue from our contract. And I'm proposing Meridian Airways fund 50% of the implementation. The room buzzes with whispered discussions. The offer is substantial and strategically brilliant. Marcus moves to slide 5. Immediate accountability measures. Sarah Mitchell. Suspended without pay pending investigation completion. Jessica Torres. Mandatory training and probationary period. Security Chief Williams. Oversight of new training program development. Sarah's face shows relief. Suspension is better than termination. Jessica, watching from the gate area, receives a text message about her status. Long-term monitoring system, Marcus continues. Real-time social media monitoring for discrimination incidents. Passenger complaint tracking with quarterly public reports. Third-party audits by the NAACP Legal Defense Fund. The proposal transforms the incident from a crisis into an opportunity for industry leadership. Airport executives begin seeing the potential benefits. Marcus addresses the financial elephant in the room. Alternative scenario. Meridian Airways terminates our LaGuardia contract. We relocate operations to JFK, which has offered us preferential gate access and lower fees. The threat is real. Losing Meridian would devastate LaGuardia's revenue and employment levels. 847 daily flights would relocate. 23,000 jobs directly or indirectly dependent on our operations. $2,800,000,000, 0 cents in annual economic impact. Gone. Janet Coleman's phone buzzes with messages from Port Authority commissioners who've been monitoring the story. The political pressure is mounting. Slide 6, implementation timeline. Week 1, terminate discriminatory employees. Week 2, launch training program. Week 3, install body cameras. Month 1, deploy reporting app. Marcus pauses for questions. None come. The proposal is comprehensive and reasonable. Financial accountability, $50,000, 0 cents. Donation to NAACP Legal Defense Fund as restitution for the discrimination incident. This demonstrates commitment beyond words. Emma's live stream captures airport workers watching the news coverage on terminal screens. The story has reached national news broadcasts. CNN, MSNBC, and Fox News are all covering it. Media response strategy. Marcus continues. Joint press conference within 48 hours. Airport and airline leadership presenting the new anti-discrimination initiative together. Turn the narrative from crisis to leadership. The room's energy shifts from defensive to collaborative. Marcus has offered a path forward that benefits everyone while addressing the core issue. Legal counsel Kim speaks for the first time. Mr. Washington, this proposal addresses our legal exposure while creating positive precedent. I recommend acceptance. Janet Coleman polls her team quickly. The consensus is clear. Accept the proposal. Mr. Washington, LaGuardia Airport Authority accepts your proposal. We'll implement these changes immediately. Marcus nods professionally. Excellent. Legal will draft the agreement tonight. Implementation begins Monday morning. He closes his presentation with slide 7. Expected outcomes. Industry-leading reputation for fair treatment. Increased passenger loyalty. Positive media coverage. Model for other airports nationwide. The meeting concludes with handshakes and commitment to weekly progress reports. Marcus has transformed a humiliating incident into systemic change. Outside the conference room, Emma continues her live stream from the gate area. Y'all, something big is happening in that conference room. Airport officials, lawyers, executives, they've been meeting for 2 hours. Her followers speculate wildly. Lawsuit incoming, CEO demanding changes. This is historic. Marcus emerges from the meeting and approaches Emma directly. Ms. Martinez, your live stream documented everything perfectly. Thank you for bearing witness. Emma is starstruck. Mr. Washington, can you tell us what happened in there? Change happened. Real, measurable, systemic change. Your documentation made it possible. He hands her his business card. When you graduate, Meridian Airways has a position in our social media department. We need people who understand the power of authentic storytelling. Emma's live stream explodes with excitement. Did the CEO just offer me a job? Her followers celebrate. Emma got the job. This is amazing. Social justice pays off. Marcus addresses Emma's camera directly. To everyone watching, today's incident wasn't about one person's bad experience. It was about a system that needed changing. Change happened because people like Emma refused to look away. The conference room empties as participants head to their respective offices to begin implementation. Sarah Mitchell remains behind, reviewing her suspension paperwork with a mix of relief and shame. Marcus returns to his flight, finally completing his journey to Miami. But the real journey, transforming an industry's approach to discrimination, has just begun. Emma's live stream reaches 5 million total views by midnight. The story trends on every major platform. But more importantly, it becomes a catalyst for change that will outlast any viral moment. The power of quiet leadership, strategic thinking, and turning moments of injustice into opportunities for progress has been demonstrated on the largest possible stage. Tomorrow, the work begins. 6 weeks after the live stream heard around the aviation world, LaGuardia Airport transforms into a model of anti-discrimination excellence. The changes are visible, measurable, and revolutionary. Emma Martinez, now a paid consultant for Meridian Airways' social media department, while finishing her senior year, documents the transformation through weekly follow-up videos. Her audience has grown to 890,000 followers across platforms. Update time, y'all. Emma broadcasts from Gate 47B, the same location where everything began. Let me show you what real change looks like. The gate area now features a prominent sign, Meridian Airways Anti-Discrimination Initiative, Report Issues, via QR code. Passengers can scan the code to access an anonymous reporting app that sends complaints directly to a third-party monitoring service. Sarah Mitchell, having completed her mandatory bias training and sensitivity courses, stands at the same gate with a notably different demeanor. Her interactions with passengers are careful, respectful, and consistently professional. Sarah's been working hard to redeem herself, Emma narrates. She completed 40 hours of training, wrote a public apology letter, and now helps train other airport employees. The training program, developed by the NAACP Legal Defense Fund in partnership with Meridian Airways, has processed 2,847 airport employees in 6 weeks. The curriculum includes unconscious bias recognition, cultural sensitivity, and conflict de-escalation techniques. Security Chief Williams approaches Emma's camera with confidence. We've installed body cameras for all passenger interactions. Every security screening is recorded and reviewed monthly by an independent auditor. The body camera footage is stored securely and reviewed by a civilian oversight committee that includes community leaders, civil rights advocates, and passenger representatives. Emma interviews Mrs. Wilson, the retired teacher who spoke up during the original incident. I've been flying through LaGuardia for 30 years, Mrs. Wilson says. The change in atmosphere is remarkable. Staff are more respectful, more aware. The quantitative results are impressive. Marcus Washington provides Emma with exclusive access to the data. Discrimination complaints down 67% across all Meridian Airways operations. Customer satisfaction scores up 23%. Social media sentiment, 89% positive compared to 12% before the incident. The financial impact exceeds all projections. Meridian Airways' stock price recovered fully within 3 weeks and reached an all-time high. The company's reputation for social responsibility attracts new customers and top-tier employees. We've received 2,300 job applications specifically citing our commitment to equality, Marcus reports via video conference from Meridian's headquarters. Harvard Business School, Wharton, and Stanford are sending their top MBA graduates. The $50,000 0 cents donation to the NAACP Legal Defense Fund grew into a $2 million 0 cents annual commitment. The money funds legal challenges to discrimination nationwide and supports training programs at airports, hotels, and retail establishments. Emma visits the new Meridian Airways Training Center at LaGuardia. They built this facility specifically for anti-bias education. Look at this setup. It's incredible. The center features role-playing scenarios, virtual reality simulations of bias situations, and cultural competency workshops. Every Meridian Airways employee must complete 16 hours of annual training here. Former Captain Reynolds, now working as a flight instructor at a smaller airline, agreed to participate in training videos. "I lost my career because of 30 seconds of poor judgment," he says. "If my mistake prevents others from making the same error, something positive comes from it." His video testimonial is shown to every new airline employee during orientation. The message is clear. Discrimination has immediate, permanent consequences. The app-based reporting system processes an average of 47 reports monthly. Most are minor issues, lack of courtesy, poor communication, but all receive follow-up and resolution. The transparency builds trust between passengers and staff. Jessica Torres, the flight attendant who initially blocked Marcus from boarding, completed her probationary period successfully. "I learned that my unconscious assumptions were hurting people," she admits on camera. "The training taught me to see passengers as individuals, not stereotypes." She now serves as a peer mentor in the training program, sharing her experience with new employees. Her transformation from perpetrator to advocate demonstrates the power of education over punishment. 3 major airlines have adopted similar programs. American Airlines launched Respect in Flight Training, Delta introduced bias-free boarding protocols, and United implemented inclusive service standards. The industry is following Meridian's lead. The Harvard Business School case study, From Crisis to Change, the Meridian Airways response to viral discrimination, is now taught in MBA programs worldwide. Professor Angela Davis, who developed the curriculum, explains, "This case demonstrates how authentic leadership can transform crisis into competitive advantage." Airport security data shows remarkable improvement. Use of force incidents down 78%. Passenger complaints about security interactions down 84%. Employee satisfaction scores up 41%. Emma documents a particularly meaningful moment. "Today, I met a young black businessman who said he flies Meridian specifically because of their commitment to equality. That's the real victory, when people feel safe and respected." The ripple effects extend beyond aviation. Hotels, restaurants, and retail stores across the country request training from Meridian's program developers. The incident sparked a national conversation about microaggressions in customer service. Marcus Washington's leadership style becomes a case study in business schools. He turned personal humiliation into organizational transformation without litigation, revenge, or public shaming of individuals. "I could have sued for millions," Marcus reflects in Emma's final documentary segment. "But money doesn't change hearts. Education does. Training does. Accountability does." The monitoring system continues operating with military precision. Monthly reports show sustained improvement across all metrics. The program's success attracts international attention. Airports in London, Tokyo, and Dubai request consultation services. Emma's role evolves from accidental witness to professional documentarian. Her follow-up series wins 3 digital journalism awards and lands her a full-time position with Meridian Airways upon graduation. The original live stream, now viewed over 50 million times across all platforms, serves as training material for customer service programs worldwide. It demonstrates the power of bearing witness, speaking truth, and demanding change. 1 year later, Emma Martinez stands in the same spot at Gate 47B, where her live stream changed everything. She's now Meridian Airways' Director of Social Impact, a position created specifically for her. This is where it all started, she tells her camera, addressing an audience of 1.2 million followers. 365 days ago, I witnessed discrimination. Today, I'm witnessing transformation. Marcus Washington appears in frame, no longer a stranger facing humiliation, but a recognized leader in corporate social responsibility. His quiet strength changed an industry. People ask me if I planned this, Marcus says to Emma's camera. You can't plan discrimination, but you can plan your response. You can choose education over revenge, systems change over personal vindication. The gate area buzzes with typical airport activity, but something is fundamentally different. Staff interactions are warmer, more respectful. Passengers seem more comfortable. The tension that once existed has evaporated. Marcus addresses Emma's global audience directly. Leadership isn't about the title you hold. It's about the change you create when no one expects it. Every day, in every interaction, you have the power to choose respect over assumption. Emma nods, reflecting on her own transformation. Y'all, I started as a college student with a phone. Now I'm documenting how one moment of courage can reshape entire industries. That's the power of bearing witness. The statistics tell a remarkable story. 0 discrimination complaints at LaGuardia in the past 8 months. Employee satisfaction at all-time highs. Meridian Airways' reputation transformed from scandal to industry leadership. But this isn't just about one airport or one airline, Emma continues. This is about every time someone gets looked down on, every time assumptions replace respect. These are the real-life stories that matter. Marcus's approach became a template for crisis management worldwide. Harvard Business School requests his guest lectures monthly. His book, Quiet Power, Leading Through Crisis with Grace, debuts at #1 on business bestseller lists. I've received thousands of messages from people who faced similar discrimination, Marcus shares. They tell me this story gave them courage to speak up, to demand